Upset alert! It was game, set and match Emil Ruusuvuori. He defeats Hubert Hurkacz, the second seed, in a mesmerising display of his young talent in Cincinnati. So let's get into the key reasons which took him to the victory. Hello everyone, my name's R32, welcome to Matchday Breakdowns and subscribe if you love tennis. I'm so close to 100 subscribers and reaching that milestone would be awesome. I'd like to start off with just a little side note. Sometimes I don't fully enjoy the matches that I analyse because I'm forced to be critical and really focus on it. But there was just really something about this match that I really enjoyed and I'm just in a great mood. So let's get into it and start off with the serve return dynamic. It's no secret that the main thing that makes Hurkacz great is his serve. He serves huge, he hits a spot, and there's great variety. He can hit every serve in the proverbial toolkit. And I thought this would apply a lot more pressure on Emil's serve, as that the importance of his service games would increase, because if Emil was broken, he was very likely to not break Hurkacz back. So he really needed to concentrate on his own serve and do what he could whilst in Hurkacz's service games. But this pressure didn't crack him at all. It was actually Hurkacz who budged first in a big way. Hurkacz served at 2-2 in the first set, and Emil did really well to attack the second serve of Hurkacz and get into the front foot on these rallies. And Hurkacz didn't serve at a high enough level, and Emil capitalised and took a 3-2 lead in the first set. Hurkacz also isn't a great returner, and Emil was relatively cruising on serve. Hurkacz is a big guy at 6'5", and his movement definitely isn't his strong suit, just obviously being so big. And Emil tactically used this to his advantage by using body serves a lot on his second serve. And this really jammed up Hurkacz and led to poor returns if he got them over the net at all. And just Emil Ruusuvuori's intelligence and strategy really impressed me in this match. And he literally found a winning formula and was implementing it very, very well. But having neutralised the incredible Hurkacz serve, what did Emil do in the rallies to get the advantage? So let's get into the point construction now. I would say that Emil did his homework to find the favourable patterns of play to defeat Hurkacz, but it's an open secret on tour that Hurkacz has a poor or outright bad forehand. He has very awkward technique on it, and his footwork isn't as good on that side, especially compared to his backhand. And it was highly erratic in this match and really sprayed errors. But Emil was really forcing the issue. He wasn't just rallying to Hurkacz's forehand, he was going after it and really attacking it, stretching Hurkacz into difficult positions with great pace and depth and forcing errors. And he found loads of success in this pattern by changing directions into Hurkacz's forehand. But he also found general success in just trying to shorten the points as often as he could. Hurkacz is not the kind of player to hit frequent winners. He's a more defensive player and trades extremely well from the baseline. He usually remains a lot more consistent than his opponent and outlasts them, and that's how he wins his matches. But Emil's very aware of this and refused to let Hurkacz play the brand of tennis that he wanted to. He did really well off of every short ball and every half chance to get on the front foot in the rallies and really dictate play. And he just used and abused Hurkacz's forehand, as we've just mentioned, with brutal efficiency in the first set. And to do with the point construction, his ball striking and pace generation was really impressive off of both wings. By the end of the first set, which he took 6-4, just of one break, he had made 5 unforced errors and Hurkacz had made 11, so he had made half. His aggression was precise, tactical and repeatable. He had found big targets to attack, which he could do with really high consistency. He only hit 2 winners in the first set, which is kind of surprising given how hard he was hitting the ball. But it's because he was forcing errors off of Hurkacz and not blasting him off the court. But as I said, he took the first set 6-4 and Hurkacz needed a change-up. And Hurkacz is a top player for a reason, because of his mental strength. Even far from his best, which he definitely was in the first set, he could raise his level, and that's exactly what he needed to do, and he did. He started to reel in his unforced error count, especially by timing his forehand better, finding the depth that he'd been looking for. And he also found his rhythm on serve and was just serving a lot better, increasing his percentages all across the board. And he also conjured up 3 breakpoint opportunities in the 2-3 game. But still, Ruusuvuori held on. He played those pressure points so clutchly and saved all of them. And deep into the second set, both of them have kind of found an equilibrium They're both holding serve so comfortably, apart from that 2-3 game, which I just mentioned. And it seemed a tiebreak was inevitable, as neither player could find that breakthrough that they were looking for, and indeed it did go the distance in the second set. And going back to what I said earlier, I think that's why I enjoyed the match so much. The margins were so fine. Nothing separated them, and where are the margins finer than in a potential match-ending tiebreak? So, going into the tiebreak, a few points go a very, very long way. And seeing as nothing had separated the players in the second set, something had to separate them now. So the question was, who would crack first and how? It seemed it would be Hurkacz, as a net cord gave Hurkacz a very lucky break at 1-2, and then a terrible volley by Hurkacz, by Ruusuvuori, gave Hurkacz another lucky break for a 3-2 lead. It was still on serve, but Emil definitely would have been thinking he should have been up at least one mini break, but Hurkacz had got quite lucky. But Ruusuvuori did find a way through in emphatic fashion. With two stunning second serve returns right at the feet of Hurkacz, Emil conjured up 3 set points. And what better way to end the match than to seal it with an ace? And it just went along with the whole theme of the match, that those big moments all went the way of the Finn. And that's what it came down to in the end. 2 missed first serves gave Emil Ruusuvuori all the opportunity he needed to take it to the pole. So overall, this is one of the biggest wins of Emil's young career, and it definitely won't be the last. I believe the biggest win of his career was against Alexander Zverev, so this is quite close to that victory. And I think his composure and solid game will take him to very, very big things in the future. For now though, it takes him to the round of 16, where he either faces Aslan Karatsev or Mikhail Ymer. And how he's playing at the moment, I would fancy him against either of them. He now leads the head-to-head 1-0 against Hurkacz, and he really, really earned that victory. But that wraps up my analysis. I really hope you enjoyed. A lot of work goes into these videos, so subscribing would mean the absolute world. Also, comment below, what did you think of the match, and what did you think of the video? But I've been your host, Henry Tui. Thanks for watching, and have a great one, guys. But it's because Hurkacz... it's because he's forcing errors off... Oh...